For this week lesson, you will learn about the sensors, a collection of sensors that we can use with Arduino. So basically, we will use the same software, which is the Tinkercad. So if you scroll to the Tinkercad to show all the components, you can see the inputs will consist of many type of sensors. So I have select some of the sensors and then put it in this diagram in the circuit. So in the circuit, so I have some sort of the make some connection of the components to the Arduino, and then for each of the sensors, what we will do for these 2 weeks is that first is that you will give some sort of the explanation about the sensors in a simple notation. I will provide user the example in the Google form, and then I have make some connection. You just need to do one connection regarding these sensors, which is this is the smoke sensor, gas sensor, CO2 sensors, and then later on, for all the sensors that was connected, so we will develop one simulator that able to show all the sensors functionality. So first of all, the introduction of the sensors. So this is the ultrasonic sensors. They aim to detect distance. So the next to the ultrasonic sensors is the PIR sensor. So PIR is to detect any motion within the given range. So it means that if some human pass by through the sensors, it will trigger. So the next part, the next sensor is the smoke detector or CO2 sensor or gas sensor. So the aim is that to detect smoke in the environment. So the next sensor, this is the tilt sensor. So the aim for the tilt sensor is that to detect some sort of the different placement of the sensors, either is vertical or horizontal. So it will trigger depends on the set condition. This is the push button. Push button is just a simple operation. You press the push button, it will execute some command. So the next part is the photodiode. Photodiode function will function almost the same with the push button. So it will trigger when some sort of the light detected with some good illumination. Okay, we go to the next part of the sensors. So we have another sensors here. So the difference between the sensors in the top part with the bottom part is that the top part will produce a digital notation value, and then the below part will produce the analog value. So for the analog value, we have temperature sensors. This is TMP36. You can check the specification. So it will give the value in terms of the analog value. The second one is the photoresistors. Photoresistor will give the analog value, but photodiode will give some sort of the digital value that trigger some things. And then the next part is the potentiometer. So for each of these part, so I have developed some sort of the programming on how we can simulate each of the sensors by using the serial communication protocol. So for instance, if we start simulate, so I have developed two part of the simulation. So the first part is, let's say if we type the command of the temperature TEMP, so it will trigger the output of the output from the temperature sensor. So let's say if we change the value, so the value will change accordingly. So the same thing with this part. Then if we wish to simulate the ultrasonic sensor, just type the ultrasonic. So it will then give the ultrasonic reading. So we can simulate the reading by changing the distance. So let's say this is 152. So all the value will be displayed in the serial monitor. Okay, so the aim for the next 2 weeks is that uh, I have put some pin configuration to this part, so you can utilize the mentioned port. So basically, I have developed just two parts. The first one is the two function. The first one is the run ultrasonic function, which is will give the information regarding the distance, and then second thing is the function for reading the temperature. So all these function will be executed with respect to the any command. So you can set any command. So I just put ultrasonic that can trigger the ultrasonic function, reading function. The TEMP command will trigger the temperature reading function. So let's say for the PIR, you can select whatever command, maybe PIR or PIR sensor, and then it will trigger the PIR sensor function. So you need to develop the function and then complete in terms of the looping to read the command from the serial communication port. So and then for the smoke detector, so smoke detector you need to look at the pin configuration. It's quite pretty straightforward. You can put it anyway. So make the connection to the Arduino. You can select pin configuration from the analog or digital, and then later on create the same thing, the function, and also how you can call that particular function. So once everything is completed, so we can just type each of the sensors that we wish to see the reading, and then the value will be displayed in the serial monitor, and then we can actually configure everything here. You can see, let's say if you want to simulate PIR, type the PIR sensors, and then we can simulate the motion and everything. Uh, and then please also give some sort of the simple explanation in the Google form. I will provide with you the Google form uh, along the way with this video.